that guy could give a fuck. But like right now, but he's also like all about his like contracts and stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
that
he's all
guy's like a
business. He's
yeah,
business.
that guy's like an uber professional.
Yeah, he's business.
Yeah.
But I'm
So
excited.
like,
Would you be excited for another movie, another Mission Impossible?
dude, honestly, like the last one that came out was fun. Like it was cool. Like the big bad is the guy who played Slade Wilson in season 2 of Titans. Like, dude, this guy's like he's got chops, man. And yeah, so I'm gonna see what's up, dude.
What about
I'm
that
gonna see what's
preacher guy
up.
for Batman?
What's up?
What about that Reacher guy for Batman?
Dude, Alan Ritchson. Well,
Boss?
first and foremost, if you've never seen Reacher, you're doing yourself a disservice.
True that. True that. Here we go. What's up? Welcome back. Sunday Funday with the Average Boys Podcast. It's your boy Crispy, and I am here with my co-host Trigger. Trigger, what is up, my dude?
What's going on, dude?
Chilling.
Oh man, you know I had a good week. Dude, but this weather that we're having
Oh my gosh.
has fucked my business up wholesale, man. And let me tell you what. Well, so I work in the bar business, right?
Yeah.
You know, and dude, slow. It's been slow. You know, and on top of that, like what's even worse is that like not only is it slow, but like no one's doing stuff, you know. So like the good thing is that like people are not driving, right? Because like we live in the valley and the valley has horrible drivers. If this offends you, I don't care because you probably suck at driving. But the valley has absolutely the worst drivers anywhere in the country. And I've been all over the country, and when I'm like, I'd rather deal with Austin traffic, and people, and even Texans are like, I don't know, man. And I'm like, dude, come live where I am. You'll change that tune real quick.
That's crazy. Yeah, especially with the building on the expressway over there in McAllen. Like it's probably like the worst I've ever seen the valley look when it comes.
Bro,
to
I don't even go that way, dog.
Yeah. I don't see a point in driving that direction. I usually just take the back roads and stuff.
Dude. That's the way to go.
Yeah. So
that's like to me, that's like the safest bet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Most def. Yeah. Taking the
back roads.
And stuff like that. You
Absolutely.
Gotta know the back roads, though, but most def though. This week we have Ultra Gamers Expo, which used to be Gamers Expo or something like that, here in the McAllen Convention Center. Big old video game competition. A lot of cosplayers, a lot of hopeful builders.
Dude, and, if he ever did a BYOC like Ninja Land did, I'd be all over that.
I mean, that would be pretty interesting. That would be like the old school LAN style party kind of setup.
Yeah,
right?
man.
I don't know if they really push on that anymore, or I don't know what they would need, but apparently they got some like crazy setup for the internet this year, which is like VTX, like
which is what you need. I mean, like for something like big LAN parties, man. You know, like you're talking like QuakeCon, and QuakeCon is done in the auditorium of like a hotel.
A hotel, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool, man. I mean, they've always been pretty successful with it every year, and I know you were talking about probably heading out to one of those this year.
Yeah, next year I'm going to try and head out because it's around every August, July-ish, around that time. Sweet. And it's done in Dallas, usually at the Hilton. And dude, I went in 2014, and dude, that event changed my life, bro. It is so good.
Yeah, the only one that I've ever been to was like, I think we went to like what is it? Akon.
Okay.
Akon,
yeah, also in Dallas.
really, really long time ago, dude.
Yeah.
And MLG Gaming, they used to do in Austin way back in the day. Like way back. So yeah, but we'll start getting into what we're going to talk about. Of course, I wanted to touch base on this real quick. Because you're a big fan. Dune 2 finally got a release for their runtime.
Yeah, man.
What information we got on Dune 2? I know you're a big fan, and we know you're all about it, man.
So Dune 2 is getting a release time of like nearly 3 hours, right? And so to like put this into like perspective for a lot of people, so think of like the runtime of Endgame, and that's pretty much what you're getting for Dune 2, right?
Okay, so
And you know, and for me that's perfect, right? You know, like if you've ever seen the original Dune movie, that movie is almost 3 hours long,
Yeah.
and that tells the story of both movies
yeah,
like together. That's a whole like movie.
yeah, 'cause it was
And
like the full story, right?
yeah, and that covers the whole book. Like it does you know, the Dune book in its entirety, right? Denis Villeneuve, he decided to do it in 2 parts. And to me that's great because like you got a lot more out of the story this time around. A lot more things that like weren't entirely explained in like the 1984 version, you know, are explained a little bit more in like this particular iteration of things, you know. But with every, you know, movie that came from a book, like of course the book is always going to be better.
I think
But dude, honestly, man, I have some high hopes for Dune 2. Dune 1 did not at all, you know, disappoint. And you know what, dude, like I've always been about it, and I'm still going to be about it. Like,
Yeah, of course you're a fan, man. I mean, it's
Yeah.
something that you kind of been about for a really, really long time. I mean, yeah, like I know like Brian and myself, like we'll sometimes kind of like poke fun or whatever. I enjoyed it more. Brian really just didn't even care to get into it because I think it's just one of those things like to invest into another franchise. at this
yeah, man,
moment in time
it's just
kind of
not his jam, and you know, it's just one of those things where like I know it's not his jam, and it's like one of those things where like, hey, man, like that's your thing, dude.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
know, like for me, like to like for our listeners, you know, for anyone that knows or has been listening to us for any period of time knows that he is a very unhealthy fan of Taika Waititi, and I have a very very same feeling with Dune as
but
to
you know
his
what, like-
Taika Waititi.
Like for what it's worth is it's like I mean Dune's good. Visually, I mean I kind of feel like Dune's a very hard sell if you're not familiar with it. Like for someone that's never really even been introduced to it at all, or never knew there was books, or never knew there was a previous movie, maybe it might be hard. You would have to be like more fan of like the sci-fi genre to really be a part of it, right?
Yeah, you know, and like that's why, like, you know, like you really can't be like, oh well, it's like Star Wars, because it's
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
you know, and it's not like Star Trek either, you know. So like it pulls, it has a lot of this and that from both of those mediums, right? You know, like the Spacing Guild, you know, a singular, you know, sun figure who rises to prominence, you know, sort of thing like that.
Magic.
Yeah, magic, or even great deals of science to explain the world around you and stuff like that, like they did in Star Trek.
Or
You
even
know,
like war strategies and stuff like that too, when they're kind of explaining the politics and all that stuff.
well, I mean, like, you know, Dune is extremely political and extremely philosophical,
Yeah.
like, and borderline religious. Like, I mean, and if I mean, depending on who you ask, I mean, it could be extremely religious. You know, I mean, it's a lot of people say that it's like a coming of age story, but like it's also kind of like one of those things where it's like blind faith and what that does to a person.
I was gonna say
You
it's
know.
like the big boys version of Star Wars, like the adult version.
Kinda, yeah. Except like there's no blind faith behind it. Like, you know, this kid like has to like kind of contend with the fact that like he knows he has to make a really, really tough decision. And it's like, if I continue down this path, like this is probably gonna happen. Like 99% sure this is gonna happen if I continue going down this path, or I can stop doing what I'm doing and probably die if I go route B. And yeah, man, it's just it's a lot to contend with, and it's a lot to take in and even understand like what you're like entirely reading. But dude, 3 hours for
Yeah, that's
for a movie.
And that's because it's
man,
not the
dude,
whole
like
movie, the last
3 hours for anything is a hard sell.
It's a hard sell. Like,
Yeah.
and that's because like the first movie was like 220, 230. I want to say around that time.
Yeah.
So for them to add an extra like 30, 40 minutes to it is kind of like, oof, man.
Yeah, man.
That's nothing to take away from the first one, right? I kind of feel that Dune, the first film, visually stunning, really, really cool. I mean, yeah, it was very winded, and I think there's probably going to be a lot more action in this one.
There is the first Dune is a lot more explaining the world around him. The second one is going to be more explaining his and kind of leading up to the actions that he's probably going to have to take, you know, or is setting himself up for. The second movie you're going to see him enact all of those things. Like you're going to see him have to make those decisions and what those consequences of those decisions are going to be.
And for you being a fan of the series for so long and knowing what's probably going to be coming up in the second part of the film or the second iteration of the film, what's like something that you can kind of tell us that would be like your selling point for like you're going to have to give it a try because this part that's coming up, like this one part, like for me, but Planet Hulk, World War Hulk would be I didn't come here to hear you whisper. I came to hear you scream. Like that.
Oh yeah, whoa,
like,
yeah, I mean World War Hulk, hell yeah, dude.
That's what I'm talking about. Like one part that that's like, hey, dude, like even in the old
for me, you know, and that and on that same story, it's would you have agreed with the Illuminati? Yes, I would have, under the condition that we had a way to bring you back.
Yeah. But no. But what I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the X-Men part, right?
Where he talks to Charles.
And he's like,
and he's like, okay, like that's fair.
You're in your own hell and shit.
Yeah,
that was dirty, man. He fucking and the X-Men get dominated like all right now, too,
dude. That's the first time you see adamantium get bent.
Yeah, straight.
Yeah, like he bent adamantium and like chucked him.
He beat the shit out of him, gave him like a bunch of brain damage and shit. Yeah, World War Hulk's wild, man. I would love to like.
But more onto like what you were asking me.
Like what was your
what would be my selling point? That I know is coming is
I mean, you can use the trailer as reference because we've all seen the trailer.
And I kind of am. Okay. It would have to be so. Like they kind of like hint at this particular instance in the trailer. I can't like. I would need to reread the book or reread like that particular scene in the book. But there's a point where Paul and Josh Brolin character, his name is Gurney Halleck. They kind of get into a scuffle, but they don't know that it's that like Gurney doesn't know that it's Paul. He thinks that it's like just somebody, right? And keep in mind, from the time that what had happened to that particular instance had been 2 years. That it had been a minute, dude. Like Paul has been on the like. Let me give you some like. It's not a spoiler. It's sort of a spoiler, but he's been on the run for 2 years. By the time he sees Gurney again, because he will see him again.
Okay.
And it's 2 years that he like from that point, and when he sees him again, Josh Brolin's character.
Oh, okay. I was like Jason. I know Jason Momoa came back in the first one, like towards the end of the film.
Yes, and then he died. Like that's Duncan, Idaho, and he died.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah,
I like that.
Dude, I'll tell you, bro. Off screen, I'll tell you, man. That guy is beyond important to like the story as a whole.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. They do a lot of fucked up things to Duncan, Idaho. He's really, 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 really important. Well, anyway, yeah, they kind of get into like a little bit of a scuffle. And like Paul, I think, has an idea that it is Gurney, but like he like takes his mask off and like he shows himself, and like Gurney is like, Paul, and he's like, yeah, like what's up, dude? And he was just like, holy shit, you're still alive. And then they like, you know, like they're like, oh my god, like where have you been? And like then after that, it just becomes like Gurney Halleck helps helps Paul train the Fremen on how to fight like differently and how to like do things, and it
More
just
like
becomes a whole
combative,
nother
like,
thing, dude.
Yeah, he kind of gets him to be a little bit more tighter, more united,
Yeah,
more like a unit.
yeah.
Good stuff, dude. Good stuff. Well, shit. I mean, I'm excited. Like, I mean, I told you before, I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the old film. I knew what it was about. I knew it was very like when I was younger, it was very hard to watch, to read. And the only
Dude,
thing that
it's
kind
a hard watch now.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
dude,
it's not
I've
a
seen
deal,
that
man.
movie. I've seen that movie twice, and the first time I saw it, dude, I was drunker than shit, and I was just like, "This movie's amazing."
fantastic.
Yeah, dude, this was so good. And then I saw it again, like I want to say like 6 months ago or something like that. Probably not
You're
even.
like-
Yeah,
you're
and I was
"Man,
like,
I'm tired."
"Fuck, man, this is hard." I was like,
it's
no
'cause you already knew
wonder
what to
I had to
expect,
drink
and
to see this movie.
I think it's because you already knew what to expect. Like you knew all the visual stuff that was.
I
coming
think
out,
I
you know, all the
did,
cool
yeah. You know, and it was one of those things where like I wasn't gonna get caught off guard.
Yeah, yeah. You were gonna get wowed and shit.
Yeah, like there wasn't like my biggest wow factor for the old movie is the fact that it's that old and it shows its
dude,
age.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, you know, like the shields you know, that like are shown in the new one, they look very fresh. It's a nice it's a nice CGI effect.
Yeah, man.
Dude,
back
in
the day, it looked
'84, they're literally Minecraft characters. Just
Yeah, dude, it looked
dude, and it sounds horrible.
yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
I mean, you can get away with watching it like the way we did like Wolverine Origins. Remember that fucking movie when they released it and it was all like no CGI at all? It
yeah,
was really bad. Like that, I could watch Dune the original one based on that kind of mentality where you just want to watch it for like the silliness.
yeah.
yeah,
But
that's
like,
pretty-
dude, I'm telling you, like, if you just went into that and just been like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna let you know, dude, you're gonna see Steve from Minecraft a few times."
Yeah, a couple times.
That's gonna like prepare you for some dumb shit, and like you're gonna be like, "Oh, haha, there he is," you know. But past that, you know, it's funny.
Yeah. Well, guys, just so you know, Dune 2 is going to be coming out. When's the date? When's the month for Dune 2? Do you know when it's going to come out? Let's see. Release date for Dune 2. Let me check real quick. Oh, Dune 2. March 1st, 2024. That's not too far off. Yeah, guys, make sure because it's going to be, I think it's going to be full of action, man. I think the first movie was one of those things that they knew that they put a lot of really winded scripts and all the politics. And they're like, you know what? Let's give these guys some badassness and some fight scenes and stuff. So I can't really wait. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Triggs, have you heard that they are making a new Indiana Jones game? How are you big on the Indiana Jones look, man?
Dude, I didn't think that that's a video game that I would think that I would be okay with. But like, cause like, dude, I mean, we have like what, like 50 years, like ish of, you know,
Between us
like
and the
Indiana Jones and stuff like that.
It's like the other Star Wars, man.
Yeah, man. You know, I mean, I don't know if Indiana Jones is quite 70s old, but like, I mean, it's old as
in
fuck.
the 80s.
Yeah.
Close to the 80s.
But either way, man, like, dude, that's crazy. And then on top of that, like, Troy Baker is voicing Indiana Jones. And so, guys, I mean, this is a guy who voiced Joel, you know, in The Last of Us, you know, and he's a fantastic voice actor, and he's a very, very popular voice actor in the anime world. So, like, I mean, dude, he's about it. He's been about it, you know, and
it looks solid, man. I mean, with what
I saw some of the gameplay, dude, and it looked good, dude.
I mean, for the dynamics of video games nowadays, it's literally just like what battle royales, a couple of like story driven stuff, but we don't got no more like Uncharted, Just Cause, like Tomb Raider. Like we don't get a lot of those kind of like fun like adventure style. So I think,
you know, I'm actually gonna like look through like my Steam library real quick
just to check, right?
Yeah, just to see like what like as of late, I've kind of been hitting like the Monster Hunter series again, right? Oh yeah, dude. I love the Monster Hunter series.
Which one are you playing?
Right now, I'm playing Rise.
Okay. That's the Asian inspired one, right?
Yeah.
Nice, dude. I haven't.
Dude, the only thing that I don't like, and like this is kind of like what fucks me up, and it's the dumbest nitpick ever. And I know it's a nitpick, right? So everything I'm about to say, this is like I'm prefacing on the fact that this is a nitpick, and I know it's dumb. is the fact that the eating system, the system that you use to eat with, like is candy essentially. It's like that's what you're
like
eating you're literally eating little dongo balls.
Yeah.
And so like that's what you're eating. But like in like World and all the other ones, it's huge feasts that you have, and they're super cool. And yeah, dude, I was just like, man, what the fuck, bro? Like candy for real? Like that's like my selling point here. And yeah, I was just a little disappointed with it.
Yeah, the Monster Hunter series has always been like kind of like, I don't know, it's up and down for me. There's times where I do feel it. It's very much like Dynasty Warrior. Like there's just like moments in time that you're like, you know what? I feel like just like a button mashing game, or I feel like a strategy style like hunting game. Kind of just puts you in the mood. I've always been a big fan of the armors, being a cosplayer, like the art of it. Like I love that kind of stuff. So yeah, Monster Hunter Rise is a really great game. But it's really, really crazy. Like the dynamic of video games recently has always been like this very competitive, open world, free to play, kind of concept. And it's getting very redundant, man. Mm-hmm. Like I play a lot of Fortnite with my friends and Alex and even Brian, dude. I'll jump in with Brian and play some Fortnite. But like, I don't know. Like it's just over and over.
So for me, dude, like when it comes to like games and me playing with friends, for me it's like the survival series. Like any game that has like
Rust,
big survival aspects. Well, like The Forest, right?
True.
So like,
okay,
all right. So like if I were to put one in perspective, it's The Forest, right? Another game, dude, that sucked me in, bro, got me by the short and curlies, like quick, was Scum. And so Scum is a super, super basic concept. Like you're a prisoner, you're put on an island, survive, right? But this guy, this story is that like the company that's put you there originally had a serum that could like cure any disease. Well, like when they were like putting it out, the first version of it turned people into zombies. Then they finally perfected it and they kept it and they stopped making it because like they had made too many. And so that's essentially what you are. Like you're a death row inmate that's been thrown on this island with like a bunch of zombies that they had created, trying to like perfect this serum. And dude, it tracks everything: your macros, your weight, your piss level, your shit level, your hunger, your thirst.
You gotta take care of all that stuff.
All of it, dude.
Oh my god, that's
all of it, dude. So like the health of your weapons, the health of your ammo, of your mags. Like of all of your tools, dude, it's a lot.
That's a lot.
Dude,
Adrian, we are live. I was just going to say, make a comment. David in the comment section, thank you for jumping in. Adrian, also, yes, we are live. Thank you for jumping in with us, man. Good to see you. But that's a lot of stuff to kind of maintain, though, isn't it? Triggs?
What?
That's a lot of stuff to maintain and stuff.
Okay, so the cool thing is that like if you kind of know how to like make a little system for yourself, you can kind of roll through everything relatively quick.
Okay.
Right? So like, yes, it tracks your weight. Yes, it tracks like your macros. Yes, it tracks like, like even like your vitamins and stuff like that. But very much like with dieting, if you know what you're eating and you put in your training hours, dude, you can actually be relatively fit in this game. Like, granted, it's going to take you a minute. And I mean like real world a minute. I think me and two friends, we spent a grand total of about a month where we gave the game about 4 hours a day for about a month straight. And dude, our characters were yoked. I'm talking like 13% body fat, like 185 pounds, just massive. Dude, but like we had crazy, dude, but like our stats were just Up there, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's crazy that there's a game that's how much detail it has into taking care of your character. Like,
Yeah.
do you feel like that's a good system to have in most video games, or do you feel like, since that's kind of like the organic movement that a lot of these games are going into with the survival and maintaining your body and food and all this stuff, do you think that's a great way to have the format, or do you think it should be a little bit more maybe simplified or easy?
It's very much simplified. This is one of those that, like, you get into this game knowing exactly what you're getting yourself into.
Oh,
right.
okay.
I think the system that, like, the Forest has, the Sons of the Forest, that particular series, that's perfect. Track what you eat, track what track your sleep, track your food and your water intake. Everything else kind of balances itself out, right? You're too hungry, you're too thirsty, your stamina goes down, your strength goes down, you're too sleepy, your mental health deteriorates, sort of things like that. So, like, one system will affect another system, but once all of it balances itself out, you're like peak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to track 3 or 4 systems than like 30 systems.
Okay. Well, I want to say what's up to everybody that's out there watching us. Thank you guys for tuning in. Welcome to us on this Sunday show. We're just catching up, doing our show. Real chill, real easy, nothing too crazy today. This week's been kind of slow, hasn't it?
Yeah, man, it really has been, dude. Like, it just, I'm not going to say with nerd culture, because like a lot kind of has been happening, new Spider-Man stuff, new X-Men stuff been coming out. We had some more Deadpool leaks as well, some nice like little set photos. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool. Supposedly speaking of Deadpool, the trailer or a teaser trailer is going to be coming out Super Bowl. So, I mean, like, yeah, dude, like this is it's going to be a good month, man. Yeah, it's going to be good.
I feel like it's going to pick up in a couple of days. Yeah. But yeah, it's real crazy. Like, I just saw those pictures of Deadpool and stuff, and I don't know. I mean, it looks all right. I mean, we really haven't gotten too much when it comes to like the pictures and the leaks. But I know that someone already apparently got the trailer that they're going to release for Super Bowl. And there's a lot of people already talking about some of the stuff that's been released in the trailers. I haven't really caught up on it yet. Kind of waiting for the opportunity just to watch the trailer as is. Not really like out there really searching for spoilers, because I just don't want to be disappointed. And the reason why I say that is because of course, like the handling of some of the characters in recent streaming services from other series, which would be like the Netflix series, the way they handled Kingpin and Echo. Like,
yeah, man. It's one of those things where it's like, it's just the handling of all of that. Like, okay, but in Echo's defense, dude, like, we didn't really shit on Echo last week.
Yeah.
But like, because like, honestly, dude, my biggest thing that I'm going to give them is the fact that they put it all out at the same time. And you know what? It was so refreshing, dude. It was so refreshing.
Oh man, dude. Congrats on that, dude.
Right?
That was like straight up good.
Yes. Adrian, I actually do like watching trailers. Really, like, it's for me, it also kind of tells me if I should be hype or not. But at the same time, I also don't give myself too much of it. Like even, perfect example, with Echo, like I had a particular, mindset for Echo, but like when it came, I was kind of just like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
That's so funny. It's a good way to put it. It's a really good way to put it. Yeah, like my biggest concern right now is last week we got some pretty important news, which was the Daredevil character that was in Echo and that has been in the series of Marvel so far is canonically the same as Netflix.
Yes.
So
like that like Charlie Cox's Netflix Daredevil is the exact same one that we have seen in the She-Hulk. In the She-Hulk show.
So with that, like, how do you feel like how they've used the Daredevil character in these recent shows? Like, do you feel like it's like it feels like the Netflix series, or do you feel like they're just using it as a cash grab?
A little bit of both, but like at the same time, like now, like if you rewatch season 3 of Daredevil, now we have a somewhat of a definitive answer as to why his color scheme is different. Well, his all red one was pretty burnt. You know, like the fact that a serial killer wore his costume and killed a lot of people in that costume.
Yeah, I never even
so
thought of that.
like, so I mean, he's gonna have to change the color scheme, right? Now he's back to his original color scheme. You know, for the people who didn't know, he was originally yellow. But you know, the fact that Vincent D'Onofrio is coming back, the fact that you know, Foggy and Deborah Ann Wall, you know, Karen Page, they have a possibility of coming back. People are like, "Oh, John Bernthal, dude." I haven't heard any actual like reportings that he actually is going to be coming back. So I leave that one kind of on the table.
There's no way they leave that guy out. He's such a hoss, dude. There's no way. That would be the
I want to believe. I want to believe. And you know what? I'll just let myself be surprised. How about that?
Yeah.
I'll say that it's not happening. And then if it does happen, sick.
Dude, I'm always one of those people that's like prophecies and all this other stuff. There's no way, bro, that they would leave him out. Like that would be the biggest, like if they want to make money, like that is the guy. Like that is the straight up.
Yeah, but dude, like think about like how much they're going to have to nerf him now.
Oh, dude, that's the part. And you know what?
That's like you did like you. I mean, unfortunately, you have to take some of the good with the bad, right?
Yeah,
you know, but like that's you know, like what do you do with a guy who literally ripped a dude's face off by pushing it against a broken mirror?
Yeah, Jigsaw.
Yeah,
and you know what? Like that goes to what I wanted to bring up in this conversation is if the Netflix series is now canon, who do you think deserves the opportunity to come back? Because like
literally everybody I've just said.
Because dude, Iron Fist was not. That was like literally what Disney was.
It was like, Garbaggio, dude.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? That was like a precursor to what Disney was going to do with Iron Fist. Like I feel like they can't do him any more wrong than that was.
Exactly.
Right? You know what I mean? And everyone fucking hated Iron Fist. Hated the fuck out of him. Like he was the worst thing. And then the Defenders came out and man, was that like a ball drop, dude. Like that was like,
dude, but you know what? I still have a good time with Defenders. I rewatch Defenders like once a year, dude. But just because like it like the only thing that saves it is the grittiness from Luke Cage and from Daredevil. Because if you don't know, Luke Cage in season 2 is brutal.
Yeah, he's nuts, dude.
Brutal. Like setting people on fire and just executing women just wholesale.
Just send it. Full send, dude. So through the Netflix series and now that it's canonized in the MCU, there's been some back talk as to why they did it. Apparently, like the initial shows for the Daredevil film that was coming out was not liked. And the production team just came together and was like, look, we got the money to restart. Let's just go with the Netflix series. Like that's already set in stone and people love it. All we got to do is follow that same format. So like out of all of that cast, who do you think would be a big hit in the MCU and who do you think they'll screw up the most?
Dude, honestly, they're going to screw up Jessica Jones. Like I'll tell you this right now. Like she is so fucked. But ironically, the person to bring back is Iron Fist.
Okay.
Let me tell you why, dude. Let me tell you why. Because this will be a great introduction or reintroduction to Shang-Chi to bring the MCU into like the Defenders way and show that there's like an actual bridge between the two of them outside of just She-Hulk or, you know, Scar and, you know, the Hulk and, you know, Daredevil being around and stuff like that. I think it would be a great way to introduce all that, or even Kunlun and how that has some sort of weird celestial technology behind it or some shit like that.
What
you know
is
what I mean?
Called the 8 cities or the 7 cities of Kunlun or what is it?
Yeah, or some shit like that.
Remember that shit back in the day?
Yeah, but that's what I mean, dude. Shang-Chi. Like, why not use Shang-Chi and the 10 rings to, you know, and bring that in to Kunlun with Danny Rand and, you know, the Iron Fist character.
And can you imagine, like, how long has it been since Shang-Chi? And there's been
A few years, dude.
Yeah, it's been a long time, dude. And there's been like no effort to put him in an after credit scene or like collab with another character or some kind of iteration where like they're trying to introduce him with other people. Like they just like left him alone. Like I think having the Netflix series with Daredevil and all this stuff gives a really good opportunity for them to kind of cross over Shang-Chi more. And I think, Shang-Chi might even be like a really great entrance for some of these like Daredevil.
That's what I'm talking about, dude.
Yeah, man.
like, why not use Shang-Chi as a street level? Yeah, as a good street level entry for these street level like characters.
True.
I really, really think that like Shang-Chi not being an Iron Fist would be super fucking slept on.
Yeah, that would be a fucking, again, like just huge letdowns, dude. Huge layups that they have that are opportunities for them to like.
Yeah, but dude, like that's also like you and I like going into a writer's room or like going into like go pitch to Kevin Feige and they're gonna be like, you don't think that's played out? And I'm like, bro, I think you're played out.
I think you're very played out.
Yeah, I think you're played out.
Yeah, it's been a while. And then like not only that, you just mentioned it right now, but like She-Hulk, dude. Like She-Hulk, like their whole thing. And remember, we talked about this when it first came out. I voiced my opinion super hard. I voiced my opinion enough about that show that a good friend of mine that's known me all my life was like, wow, Chris, you've been really like over masculine. I've over masculated recently. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, yeah, like everything that comes out that's like girl power you hate. And I'm like, no, that show was bad. Like that the show was literally created by the director to attack the fans, like to attack the fan base and let them know that it's not about us. It's about what they want. And it's like, why would you attack the people that spend their hard money to keep you going? Like, and now look at it. She-Hulk 2 canceled for the second season. I didn't think it deserved to be canceled. Like, and that's because I didn't like it. I think it would have probably done better, but that last episode, god damn that last episode, dude. I go back to it and I'm like I get a fourth wall break. Like I do. I understand. I mean, you and I have been in this comic book game for a long time.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, dude. We're. I mean, like both of us are probably hitting close to 30 years at this point.
Yeah. My favorite, and it's not even comic book worthy, dude. But my favorite fourth wall break is still to this day Zach Morris, dude. Like Zach Morris is, the way he breaks the fourth wall is like, it's the best, dude. It's the best. Saved by the Bell hit it really, really well with him. But like, her whole thing was like, she literally, if that's a real power that changed her entire last episode, there's nothing that can stand in her way as a character.
Yeah.
Like typically, like you put that kid chick in a film, all she has to do is break the fourth wall and jump out of your TV and go unplug the television, and then boom, there you go, she won or whatever. But like, again, like the entire production team was about attacking the fans and attacking the people that are trying to encourage it.
Dude, and that's what really like pisses me off with like a lot of these actors and actresses nowadays, where they're like, I mean to disrupt the natural balance of things, and I'm like, why do you have to do that? Like,
what does that mean? What does that mean?
First of all, like the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, I'm gonna fuck with the natural order of things. Probably isn't your best bet. And I hate to sound super masculine, I guess, right now. Right. Is like Rachel Ziegler, dude. She's catching the exact same amount of shit that Brie Larson did for doing the exact same thing that Brie Larson did. And because she's playing Snow White and she's just like, well, fuck the original story. And I'm like,
if I'm not mistaken, like that character is based off of like Danish folklore.
Yeah, so and it does not end well for that in that story for her. Yeah. BT Dubs.
But like it's based on an actual culture of a race of people. So for them to go off and race swap a character that's based off of actual culture, like I don't think that works very well. And like a lot of people don't agree with it or whatever. And I everybody has their opinion, but my opinion does not stop the production. Like they still end up going through with it and stuff like that. But if the company, let me ask, and this is just out in the open, I'm just, throwing needles into a wall or whatever to see which one sticks. if the company was so grateful about being more open to diversity and equality and stuff like that, why did they CG and change all the people that are little people? If that's an entire disability in a race also.
Yeah.
Like they changed all the little people, the people that are supposed to be the dwarves, to just regular people of diverse colors.
Peter Dinklage is in it.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
and you know, and like, dude, I don't know, like that to me is just like a whole bunch of bullshit. But like at the same time, I'm kind of like, dude, like, for what, bro? Like, for what?
I thought you were going to use the word malarkey.
I mean, baloney, dude. Malarkey, just yeah, man. It's just dumb, dude. Like, all of that is just super fucking unnecessary. And you know what? Attacking your fan base like that in that manner, dude, is just it's unnecessary, man. You know, and that it's like me coming onto here and saying like I'm gonna push a fucking LGBT community, like, you know, some sort of crazy right wing, you know, like agenda because like I mean to disrupt the natural order of our podcast.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck would I do that, dude? Really like, yeah. Like that's I don't need to do that.
So then let me ask you this then, just in general, what do you think of Disney as a whole?
Disney as a whole is, dude, in desperate need of redirection all over the place, dude. And you know what? Like, Papa Iger is supposed to, like, you know, fix a whole lot of things, but like I think he walked back into a whole lot of mess that Bob Chapek left him.
Okay.
And dude, you know what, man? Like, I get it, man. Like, you are trying to unfuck a whole bunch of situations and stuff like that. And I know that it's not easy, but Jesus, mother of God, it is bad. Like, no decision that has been made has been good lately. No decision. Outside of giving fucking Indiana Jones a video game.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Like even recently,
dude, look at all the Star Wars projects that keep getting canceled.
Yeah, that's what I was
reshuffled. Yeah,
reshuffled and stuff. So what did they do? They came out and said that Mando and Grogu are going to get a film
season 4.
Yeah, well, they're going to get a trilogy. They're going to get a movie trilogy. But
yeah, but that's a Jon Favreau led movie trilogy. Yeah. Sick, right? Yeah. Pedro Pascal has already said that, like, when that movie comes out, that's it. That's done.
Yeah, that chapter's going to be done.
Yeah, like the Din Djarin and Grogu story is done, but they're giving us a season 4. So does that mean like we're going to get a season 4 in between the movies, before the movies?
I kind of feel like it's going to be like during. Like we're gonna get a season 4 in between, if not the lead up into the films.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be, dude. Yeah, it's gonna have to be.
Yeah, and the thing is like, what do you do? Like, what story are they gonna try and tell that wasn't?
But that's the thing, dude. There's no story that really they like. I'm not gonna say can tell, but that's the beauty of it. Jon Favreau has an open chapter to tell his own story, whatever he wants to tell. Because, dude, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have been doing that with the entire Mandalorian Ahsoka series anyway. And you know what? For the most part, they haven't really missed too much. You know, Ahsoka was weak, but it wasn't bad. Season 3 of Mando wasn't awesome, but it wasn't terrible either. You know, the only bad one, dude, and like let's you know, shout out to, you know, B Rizzle, dude, you know, calling a spade a spade, you know, calling a spade is, dude, Book of Boba Fett was trash, dude.
Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough watch.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically Mandalorian season 2B.
Yeah, but that's because they had already given all that riz and clout to the Mando. Like, that's what they should have done with Boba. You know what I mean? Because they never established Boba Fett.
But that's what I'm saying, dude. Like Book of Boba Fett is just Mandalorian season 2B.
It's just Dollar General Mandalorian.
No, dude, 2B. That's all it was. It's you know, 2 to the second. I don't know, two squared or something like that. 2B.
Really fucking squared.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think Ahsoka was it was kind of like it
was weak, but it wasn't bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it was mid. But the thing is like I heard someone say it in another podcast where someone said, well, it's just the next season of Rebels, and it's hard to produce a live action series from an animated series. Like in this one, you could just see that Ahsoka's just worn out, man. Child soldier, driven through hell. You know, was taught to be with a bunch of stormtroopers who later tried to kill her and screw her over. And instead of her just wiping them out because they're clones, she had a connection to them, so she wanted to save them. She wanted to save all her clone troopers, so she went like the extra mile to like get them unconnected to the Order 66 stuff. Like there's so much that this child went through. You know what I mean? Like I think in that interview, the person said that they felt that Qui-Gon Jinn and Ahsoka were the only two characters that were real children of the Jedi Academy. Like the ones that were really about being actual Jedis in the Force, like raised in the Force.
Yeah.
Everybody else was like, you know, dealing with all of this like aficionado, like real like gravitas of every character. Obi-Wan was very like, since he was young and vash, there was no way he was going to be able to be Anakin's teacher because he himself was still very like, there was an arrogance to him. He wasn't humble like Qui-Gon, where he knew that he had to have patience. Like Obi-Wan didn't have patience for Anakin. That's why he failed him. So like, there's just like, you know, there's a lot that Dave Filoni has been able to kind of like, I guess, flesh out. And my biggest thing is like, we should be getting our Thrawn story. And that's what I'm
which we are like, but the Thrawn story very much, and I'm not going to say like the Skywalker series, right? Nor the Skywalker story, because Jesus, Mother of God, they dropped the ball the last 10 years. You know, needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Correctly. And then on top of that, it needs to be handled with care. You know, Thrawn was such a like out of left field character that like I'd have to say that is definitely not true.
I'm gonna put
definitely not true.
He's making some good points because, like, with this one, this one surprised me, and I'd like to know, like, Adrian, if you can put in the comment section, I'd like to know. I think she did a fairly good job, but what do you feel like your casting would have been, or what do you think they should have done more with the character? That's interesting.
Yeah, maybe no, I believe people actually are very critical. I mean, there's a reason why, like, the Star Wars fandom is looked at very negatively.
And that's why it's like almost split down the middle, like for show, dude. Like,
I would have to greatly disagree on that. But I mean, hey, I get it, you know. But like to my original point is that the Thrawn story was like a huge hit in the books, huge hit in the books, you know, and it was just one of those things where it never got a proper ending either. And now then they canonically, like, you know, brought him in with Rebels and stuff like that, and like they made him canon, and dude, yet again it slapped, like it hit, and a lot of people said like Ahsoka was what, season 4 of Rebels, and I agree. Season 4. Yeah, I mean I agree. It essentially is.
Like, as an animated series, I think that would have been fucking fantastic, but as a live action, it's a hard sell, man. It's a hard sell because you get to actually see these people like trying to act out all these roles that you're not used to, like seeing that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, but overall, like Disney's in a bad position right now, man.
Yeah, man. Even their MCU, their number one selling like franchise, like franchise, the MCU is not doing well either. You know, it's hurting.
Yeah, there's really nothing ahead of the curve right now that I'm really looking forward to anymore. Like I mean, they have the Captain America New World Order, Thunderbolts, like there's really nothing that's really catching my eye right now, or at least like for what they've been putting out, nothing has really been like, you know, keeping up for me.
Yeah, and I agree. You know, Audrey wants us to go see Madam Web, but she wants to see Madam Web before Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney and Isabel Merced, and like
before they get the casting.
No, like Like, no, she wanted to see it after the casting. Like when she saw that they were playing, you know, who they are in it, you know, or that they would be in the show or like in the movie, she was like, "Oh, dude, I got to go see this. Like, I love these actresses." And so I was just like, "Cool, like, let's go."
Do you think Madam Web's going to be a what do you think? Yeah, I was going to say, like, I mean,
brother, I'm expecting no better than a 6.
All right, that's hardcore. And you know what's funny? Okay, so we got a picture in our group chat, and this is the thing. I don't know why they do this, but I'm just gonna shoot this out in the dark. We got a picture in our group chat from a friend of ours, Biggie Rob. Right, Rob. Shout out to Biggs. I don't know where he's at. He's usually in the comment section, but
dude, yeah, man. The fact that he ain't here, man, like, bro, we got to give him a call or something like that.
He's out there with the ladies and stuff,
right, dude? With the mommies.
I posted up a picture of the guy that's going to be apparently playing Uncle Ben. Right, who is in Madam Web, who plays a paramedic alongside the girl that is going to be turning into Madame, that's pretty crazy to know that everything's that well connected to each other, right? Like,
yeah, and Ezekiel Sims is weirdly enough like wearing a Spider-Man costume.
Yeah, wearing a Spider-Man outfit early and shit. But apparently, like, there's a picture of Uncle Ben being circulated where he has a little like it looks like a fortune cookie thing. And apparently this is going to die.
Yeah, you gonna die.
Uncle walking down this street.
Yeah, you better, boy. November 2nd. You better stay in the house.
Don't walk by that wrestling show.
Yeah.
Don't go down the city, man. Apparently this is going to be a scene in the film where he's going to reach into a fortune cookie and he's going to pull it out. And apparently this is where the big reveal is, where he got with great power comes responsibility. That he got it from a fucking fortune cookie.
Oh, dude, why would you?
Dude, that would, you know how, like, okay, I'm not even
how
that
much
big
of a dick slap that would be, dude. That would be so upsetting.
I'm not even that big of a Spider-Man fan, but if they watered down the entire like motto of Peter Parker's Spider-Man to a fucking measly lunch break fortune cookie, that's gonna be so sad, dude. I don't even know why. Dude. Like,
that would be very upsetting.
Like, why? Okay, why do they, as in the productions and the directors and all of these people that are coming up out of the woodwork, why do they feel content in offending or like diluting or perversing the original characters we came up loving and falling in love with and looking up to and role modeling? Why do they do that? Like, why do you think they do that?
I think, honestly, man, and like, I kind of hate to say it this way, but I think it's to try and keep up with the times.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain that. I wouldn't even know how to. What do you mean?
Well, because like very much like yourself, dude. You know, like if you really look, like take a look at you, Chris, right? You need an explanation for everything.
True.
And a lot of the fandom, same way, kind of needs an explanation for everything.
True.
Like, I mean, like one of my favorite stories, dude. You know, is Secret Wars, dude. We got explanation after explanation on everything in that comic, and so it left very, very little to be like, well, why did this happen this way? Well, why did this happen this way? Why did this happen this way?
Close ended and stuff.
Yeah, like they really like tied the bow on everything, you know, and I think that's kind of like ultimately what it is. Is it's like sometimes you have to tie that bow super well, and I think in like the perversing of a lot of things or giving the backstory to certain things that we didn't need being told to us is given to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, but dude, if that does happen, and you know, the fucked up thing is I see it happening.
Yeah,
is where too. like I very much see the Uncle Ben and him like. And you finding out that like originally he was gonna be with her or something like that, and then like he finds May later on, or like she tells him like maybe you should talk to this girl instead or something like that, just to like perverse it even more. You like, oh, dude, like I said, man, like I don't know, like I'm not gonna say that my hopes are not high for this, but I'm gonna go in with the most open mind that I can have, as I always will.
The lowest
But
expectations possible, dude.
yeah, that way I cannot be disappointed.
That way I could be like, oh wow, they remember their lines. How good.
Yeah,
How good. Wow, they remember their Spider-Men. How good.
yeah,
Spider-Women or whatever.
yeah.
How great. Fantastic. Um, yeah, that's always been one of my things, man, where it's like, speaking of the Spider-Man series, I've always kind of told this, and I've been saying it for a pretty long time, that I truly believe that Tom Holland's Spider-Man's going to be the one that gets killed off, and they're going to replace him with a Miles, right? Right now, memory-wise, him understanding who every villain is, knowing their pretty much almost their backstories because of what happened in the last film, and everybody getting their mind erased and him mind erased, and him keeping his.
You know why I don't think that he's gonna get killed off?
Yeah. What's up?
Because they just brought him back.
Well, I mean, they did it to Chadwick Boseman, and he literally passed away in real life, and they should have recasted him.
Yeah, well, they haven't done.
Here.
Yeah, but to be fair, they haven't done shit with Black Panther since comic book wise.
Yeah, well, they can't. Well, in the comic books, yeah, sort of. But yeah, I agree. There's really not much that they're doing with this character, but that's a lot of characters, man. Because you look at right now, right? Like they just released, and the reason why I think this is because our Tom Holland Spider-Man, Aunt May dies, and right now in the video game, Aunt May died in that one with their Spider-Man. Their Spider-Man has Spider-Man and Miles Morales' Spider-Man in the same universe. And I think like in the next video game, they're going to actually kill off Peter Parker's character because of the way that this video game has been accepted by the community and the young kids. A lot of kids in this generation believe Miles Morales to be the actual Spider-Man now, where Peter Parker was always a Spider-Man and Miles was always this character that they kind of created and threw out because they wanted to have more diverse characters and they needed him to be, connected to some character that had a huge fan base already. So that way they could just put a Spider-Man name on it and they can sell whatever character in the title. It's the same thing we did with like Captain America, same thing what they did with the Falcon and all that stuff. But the thing is like right now, the younger generation truly believes that Miles Morales is Peter Parker. Like, that's crazy to me. They just literally created a story. What's up, Caesar? Good to see you in the comment section. Just wanted to break character real quick. See what's up. But they literally just, and we talked about this too with the Spider-Verse. Like the Spider-Verse comic book wise is a million times 180 degrees in the opposite direction of what they gave us. Like it has nothing to do with the animated series, but the animated series is so fucking good with what they did. But that's also like kind of like what solidifies like my point is the fact that like, dude, if you just tell a good story it'll work. It'll work, but you need to know how to deliver it correctly. Deliver the story.
Spider-Verse, right? We already have an established Spider-Verse comic that hit right. It hit the ground running and it did very, very well. Very, very well. It sold relatively well. They're using essentially the exact same fucking name and somewhat of the same premise.
Yep.
For some of it, changing things here and there, but like a big chunk of the story is somewhat still the same. They're traveling the multiverse,
being chased by a scary eater, a scary person that can eat you. Fucking Spider-Man 2099, practically and shit. But like, it's super crazy because like now, with the release of the second video game, it just so happens that Miles Morales is now in the Venom symbiote story, which he was not even a concept during the Venom story originally.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like now, like, but to be fair, was it the last big Carnage story? Like you find out that Miles also had a codex at one point, and I'm like, when the fuck did that happen? Well, like for me, like when I found that out, I was like, when the fuck did we get ice cream? Like, when the fuck was this?
Because Carnage took over Miles or gave him a part of the Carnage symbiote, right? Which put him in the Carnage symbiote. Yeah, but he's in the Carnage symbiote codex, and Venom was the other one because remember they were like in the Venomverse story, they were like enemies or like those two alien subjects.
Yeah,
like,
but like at the same time, because Carnage is a part of Venom or was a part of Venom, they share the same codex.
Yeah.
So what if they've ever been touched by a symbiote that originally came from Venom in any way, shape, or form, so Scream, Toxin, all those other, Ravager, Blazer, Taser, all the Azers, Carnage and all that, they have a piece of the codex. And like somehow or another, fucking Miles went into this, and so that's why that's why when I saw him in this one, I was just like, all right, cool. Like they already venomized him somewhat already, so like this was just going to be a really, really good,
See, he gets it. Adrian's like, but isn't that like crazy with all the IPs? Like, it's a hot mess. It really is, dude. It really, really is. It's like Sony's writing their own shit, and then they have to make MCU. Miles and everybody kind of play together. It's hard, man. It's really hard.
That's why I say just leave some of them alone, dude. Like you really fucking don't need to, because like all of this, like, oh, we're trying to like make everything connect and all this other stuff. Cool, bro. Like, man, when Kevin Feige found out about multiverse, man, he hit the ground running.
Fucking came all over the place, dude. He just came. That's all it is. I can just do whatever I want now.
Yeah,
dude, that's super nuts, man. And you know what? That even reminded me. You're a big fan of Nova.
Huge.
And there's talks of bringing Nova. Do you think it's kind of too late in the game to bring him in right now?
No.
You think they still got time before like Secret Wars and all that shit?
That would have been the perfect time to bring him in. The fact that they didn't was stupid.
Well, they haven't. Well, the Secret Wars is still coming, man.
Well, no, I meant with like Endgame, because like that's when they should have brought him in. Yeah. Infinity War and Endgame. Yeah, I mean, like, good. Why would you not? With that.
Yeah, no shit, right? Why would you not have Nova in the fucking story already?
Yeah.
But so right now there's talks of having Nova. What's up, Brian? Brian D in the comment section. Good to see you, my dude.
Calling a spade, bro.
A spade. Yeah, there's talks of them bringing Nova right now, and they want to do like a standalone, or like kind of like the way they did Echo, where it's like a Marvel special presentation. They want to give you like its own standalone character and its own piece of the universe that doesn't really connect to anything.
That's so disrespectful, dude.
and apparently the casting rumor right now is Ryan Gosling. Even though I'm going to reiterate this, Ryan Gosling himself said he wasn't for sure if Nova was the name that he was going for right now, but he would love to do Ghost Rider. And we know Kevin Feige would be like, yo, fucking, if he wants that, I'll totally give it to him. We want Ryan Gosling in the MCU. But there's a lot of talks as him being Nova, which, good for you, though. Looks like it might be Richard Rider. So give us a breakdown. What do you think of like Richard Rider, Ryan Gosling first playing Richard Rider, and him coming into the MCU at this time of the game?
I think Richard Rider's Nova could possibly save the cosmic landscape aspect of all of this, because they fucked it up in Secret Invasion. Guardians of the Galaxy's actual ending, the very, very last thing, looked real mid. Yeah. Fucking, who was it? The Marvels, the way that ended was really weird. So, like, do they need something here? We already had it. Don't worry about it, guy.
Yeah,
don't worry about the Dune talk.
We already had it, Brian.
Yeah.
That was like at the very beginning.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're gonna get me mad. But yeah, man, that's my thing. Like, dude, they need somebody to save the cosmic landscape of like the MCU, because it ain't gonna be Thor.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, and that's because like we almost lost Chris Hemsworth as an actor in the MCU because of the debacle from the last film, right? So
not just that, dude, but I mean, really, dude, like he's already been saying that because of like what's going on with him and his predisposition for certain things, he was going to be taking time to slow down. and spend time with his family.
True that. So where do you see in the overall like landscape of the MCU a good arc for Nova to come into the story right now?
Oh man, you know what, dude? I actually think it can be a bit of a two front, like that actually connects several pieces. Okay, so we know that Miss Marvel's bangles came from space, right? This was also somewhat confirmed in Shang-Chi, so we have that going on, right? We could use the Fantastic Four to kind of analyze all of this, give a more definitive answer on all of things, on some of those things, with Richard Rider being like, "Oh, I've seen shit like that, like in my where I've been. I've
Kinda
seen
like
those things before."
Kind of like the what's his name from the Green Lantern Corps, John Stewart, or not John Stewart, but what's his name? The main guy. What's the fucking
Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan, like
Hal
his
Jordan.
kind of concept, right? Where he's like, yeah, I'm an international cop or intergalactic cop. I've seen some shit. You guys wouldn't know. You're humans or whatever. Kind of like real jerky and shit. But like, I mean, from the last thing
I think,
I was gonna say from the last.
Like, if I got that, I wouldn't be mad.
Because the last thing that we remember was like Nova. Well, no, not Nova. What is it? Nova? No. What's the name of the planet? Xandar. Xandar was decimated by Thanos from the Infinity War saga. That's where the Power Stone was, or something was. One of the gems was there. But that all I believe is supposed to change after they changed the timeline and Thanos got killed off before the Guardians. So Xandar should still be okay. What do you think?
Dude,
so
but with him like destroying Xandar, I would have to say that like this also kind of gives us a way to say like, oh, this is how that collective was like destroyed, or like how everyone else like was killed and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And now we can like say like, oh, this is why Richard Rider is like the last Nova,
like a rebuild or something. Like he wants.
Well, not a rebuild, but he's a Nova Prime.
Okay, that'll be interesting. Yeah, because when I heard about that, I was like, okay, I've heard Ryan Gosling. His name's been dropped like a million times in the last like 2 years for Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So like to have Ryan Gosling play Nova wouldn't be as bad. I don't think it'd be as bad. I would prefer him to be Richard Rider Nova rather than like the Beyonder. I wouldn't really want Ryan Gosling as a Beyonder.
Dude, honestly, I kind of don't want like anyone being a Beyonder. I want the voice of somebody being a Beyonder.
So no reveal kind of thing?
No, kind of like a like if I were to get a Beyonder, I don't want it as the 1984 like Beyonder of a man. I want the Beyonders from Secret Wars in 2015.
I think I get you. And then the one thing that I wanted to ask you is, you and I are pretty big fans of this guy. We both follow him pretty well. His name's Comics Explained.
Rob Jefferson.
Shout out to Comics Explained. Rob Jefferson. If you guys need any info on comic books, get out there and watch
Comic Biggie.
Comic Biggie. That's funny. Recently he dropped a video, and I was trying to see if I could find it real quick, but I don't know if he put it in his shorts or what. But it was I don't know how to explain it. Like he was coming out and saying like, "Hey Marvel, I have an idea for you. This is my take on how you can introduce the Fantastic Four, or was it like doing a reboot, or what was it?
It's the way to introduce the Fantastic Four into the MCU. Okay,
and you saw this one, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you think on his take? Like, can you give me just a basic breakdown on what you remember on how he says that the Fantastic Four should be brought in?
I unfortunately don't, man. And it was kind of like one of those that, like, Like the only reason that I say that is because like there's a lot of times that I have a feeling I was probably driving when I saw it, and I remember one of them being that like you need to bring them in like correctly, and I was just like, yeah, like obviously, and he was like, but like you need to do it with like XYZ story, and I'm like, you want to go that big already? Like he was almost hinting at like a Galactus like annihilation
right
wave
off the
story,
beginning,
and I
right?
was just like, I was like, what? Why?
Like usually it's what they give you like a good like Doom versus Fantastic Four or like Mole Man, like something very The Incredibles, right? Remember the movie The
Mhm.
Incredibles? Like
Yeah.
very much like that, where they give him like a cool like low street level villain, kind of give him that opportunity to mold. And I think in that possibility, like Doctor Doom's already casually there. You know, he's kind of like the way the first movie was. I still think the Fox Fantastic Four movie was a really great introduction during that time in comic book history. But
Mhm.
but it was still very silly because it was that time where like they were still kind of doing like the clunky clown version of superhero movies. They were all over the top, kind of Spider-Man doing his little emo dance and shit. Like it was very
Yeah.
much in that world, right? But nowadays, I think with the seriousness of the way the MCU is and stuff like that, I think the Fantastic Four would be a great build, but not for a Galactus. I think right now, I'm so tired of world-ending events. Like I'm so fucking tired of like, oh, here we go. The Earth is going to be destroyed in 4 days. Someone else needs to. One of the other four superheroes needs to save the world again. I'm just so
Yeah, where
tired.
everything is an Avengers level event, even though like it's Daredevil taking care of it, you know?
Yeah, dude, I'm so fucking tired of it, dude. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. But yeah, like I know the Fantastic Four is like a very strong team, and scientifically they do have the capabilities of taking care of some really earth-shattering events. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Rob Jefferson was saying like they were already there. They were there when Ultron was being developed. They were
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Yes. And I was just like, you're going to tell me that Reed Richards in no way, shape, or form made any kind of an appearance?
yeah,
Because that's not at all what he does ever in anything that he fucking, in any time that he's like, play like been in a story where he's like, hey, by the way, you're going to fuck this up. Stop doing it.
and then he even explained that like Doctor Doom was part of Project Pegasus because
Yeah.
he was like just crazy shit. And I was like, dude, this is very far fetched. I mean, like, how many times have we seen in the MCU that they introduce a character and they have to be like, or it's like a what is it, Spider-Man 2 with Mysterio, where like
Yeah.
the whole entire fucking team at MIT that didn't get financed for their shit was like the villain, and they were there the whole time. And I was like, dude, like, come on, man. You could have introduced this way like so much better, but shoehorning him into like the first Avengers
Yeah.
movie.
And literally the like Spider-Man 2 is just because of Barf. That's his motivation. Because he called it Barf. Yeah.
And
He
it's
called
like,
it Barf.
oh man, that's so dumb. It's like, so can you imagine them doing that to the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom? That would be fucking shit, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That would be fucking hard, but I see them trying it. I always thought the idea of bringing Doom into what was it, Black Panther 2? Like, you know how they talked about having him in the background where he was like trying to get Namor and the Black Panther, the Wakanda people to fight each other?
Yeah.
Like, I thought that would have been an interesting like Thanos introduction where he's on like the throne and Earth. If you to go after the humans is to court death, and you get that cute little smile that he does when he turns around and shit. Like, kind of like one of those wink and nods that Doctor Doom is in this world.
Yeah.
But like you said, like those two characters are so big of themselves. There's no way we've never heard that they're alive in the universe with as much stuff that has happened. Like, just imagine the what is it? Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah.
The fucking spaceship that shows up in the middle of New York City, right in front of Doctor Strange's house or whatever, the big circle one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, the Fantastic Four would have been all over that bitch, dude. Like, just that's one of those moments they would have been like, oh, science or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just too much. It's too much. I personally think, and I think I said this the last time on one of our chats, that I'm for them bringing the Fantastic Four from the Fox universe. like bringing them in the life raft. Like I'm for it for Secret Wars. I think they did fantastic. I think the Doom of that story is really great, and I think he still sits as a good Doom for this universe.
Breaking news, dude. There's no effing way that I'm seeing this correctly.
Right now?
Yeah.
What is it?
Okay. So, for anyone who's ever watched The Bear, right? The guy who plays Richie, Eben Moss Backrack, he's like the tall, lanky, like white guy, right? He's the one who always calls Jeremy Allen White's cousin, character cousin.
The guy with the curly hair?
Yeah.
That's the one that was in Iron Claw, right?
Yeah. Jeremy Allen White was in Iron Claw.
Oh, okay. Other one then.
But his his friend who happens to call himself cousin, right? He happened to be John Barenthal's like best friend, right?
Okay.
In The Bear. He's being like, someone asked if he's playing the Thing in fantastic form, and he said, I can't confirm it and I can't deny, I think.
Yeah, I think I had seen that his name was up for grabs for the Thing. Which
what the fuck? Dude?
I think he's a good actor.
Don't get me wrong. I think he's amazing.
Yo,
I don't see him as the Thing, but hey, awesome, dude.
I don't know if this is real, but I'll fucking show you this right fucking now. And again, this is just breaking that he's kind of like in talks, right? Yo, if you go type in this guy's name and you just type in his stuff to kind of look what happens. Fantastic Four 2025.
Yeah. And he was also in The Punisher.
Yeah. But so far this
yeah, but they also say Vanessa Kirby and John Krasinski and shit like that. So like what the fuck do they know?
Look, Adam Driver's name is still there.
Yeah.
So right now it looks like, and you know what? Pedro Pascal's name is still up for grabs in this. You know that, right?
We'll see, dude. Honestly,
I really don't think
we'll honestly like I said, dude, we'll see. Because because he actually just dropped out of a project. Over scheduling issues.
Yeah. And that's because I heard it was the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Yeah, so and I really wasn't that big on him being Reed Richards in the first place. Not to be rude, but I don't think I'm about it.
Well, no, he had dropped out of another project after being said that like he had been in talks for Reed Richards. Four. Yeah.
Fuck a duck, man. Fuck a duck.
So like a lot of people are like, dude, this is kind of like those quiet confirmations of like him being like Reed Richards.
So like if you had the opportunity to introduce your Fantastic Four into the MCU, how would you come along with it?
How would I come along with it? Oh man.
Yeah, Pedro was being talked for Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I would have to say that they've kind of been around, but during the events of, let's say, like, you know, like Infinity War, right? They were already out in space, right? Doing their space thing when they got their powers. And
okay.
Then it happened during the whole like invasion and stuff like that. Like that's how they get their powers, through like them being invaded and like the solar flare and stuff like that. So they get their powers that way, and as soon as they come back, boom, they get blipped, right? So they're gone for 5 years. They come back. Now that they're back, they've been doing their own street level thing, kind of building themselves up. So they kind of have been there, but they haven't been there. Like you need to work the blip in there like correctly. You should work the blip in there correctly. And and it's just one of those things where like, because if you don't, like you're gonna write yourself into a fucking ugly corner that you can't get yourself out of.
Yep.
Or people are gonna be like, that's stupid.
That's me. That'll be me in the background being like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, man. I see. I mean, because the thing is like the blip is so important.
Yeah.
But like for me, it's one of those things like, I don't know if you feel it, but every time they introduce like one of these fucking crazy OP characters, like it doesn't make sense because you ask where the fuck were they during the Thanos thing?
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, okay, cool. Like the Eternals, like, man, do you remember when they dropped the Eternals? Like that was like the best and only question that made sense. well, where were these dudes during the Thanos thing? And they're like, oh, well, they literally had to put a whole ass, like, they had to write that shit in the script so people wouldn't ask that question anymore, and people still didn't care for it.
Yeah, but at the same time, I love their answer. That's y'all's problem.
Which is like, we're not.
Yeah, no, that's your problem.
That's your problem as humans.
Yeah,
right? But they're supposed to do something because he's a deviant, isn't he?
Well, he has a deviant gene, but no, he's an Eternal.
He's an Eternal, yeah.
He's an Eternal that has a deviant gene.
The Icarus is one of those dudes I like. He'll give him the heat, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. He'd give him all the smoke.
Yeah, I'll give him all the smoke as much as he could.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it goes into that. So like, if you introduce a Fantastic Four before the blip, before like Infinity War and all that shit, like, people are going to be pissed that they didn't do anything to help out. Like, why would you not have the smartest man in the world, like, help out during a situation like that? Like, it would be nuts. But that's why I feel like my take on it, like, just shoehorn it in as the Fantastic Four from the Fox universe. You know, it would be cool to see fucking that dude Chickless and the fucking Jessica Alba and that fucking dude and Chris Evans, fucking Captain America, come back as like all the Fantastic Four members from a long time ago. Dude, that would be pretty. I think that would be pretty dope. And then not only that,
man, and like I said, dude, it's like you have to handle that one with care. Like, you really, really need to handle it with care, because like it's really one of those things where it's kind of like, bro, like, first and foremost, they're the first family of Marvel, right?
Yes.
You know, and so don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. Please. And people outside of the X-Men have been clamoring for the Fantastic Four. Forever. Do not fuck this up.
But let me ask you, like, since it is Secret Wars, and you know how important, I know how important Secret War is to you. Do you bring in Valeria?
No.
And
no,
the son?
Absolutely not.
How can you not? How can you have Secret Wars without him?
Easily.
If you're going to do Secret Wars from 2015.
Nope.
You don't bring him nor the kid. You don't bring none of them.
No. You bring in Doom, obviously, but not Valeria or Nathaniel.
Nathaniel Richards. What would you do instead? I mean, do you know how
I would give that to another to another character.
Do you know how rad it would be to see Nathaniel sitting in Galactus's hand, dude?
Yeah, do you know how awesome it would be to see Nathaniel make Galactus as Herald? I'm probably never going to see that either. But
yeah, we're probably never know.
Yeah, but
that's the whole like Hyperion and Thor thing that I keep telling you we're never going to see, dude. We're never going to see that, even though it's like the most important thing in comic book history, practically. But yeah, I don't know, man. I would think that you would introduce them with the kids, especially if the reboot's going to have the X-Men and you want to start it with Krakoa and all that other stuff already kind of being like prevalent in the story. Because I mean, the Krakoa story and the X-Men story it's pretty fucking wild, dude. If you think about it, like to see that in a live action rendition, the X-Men story, I think it's a little too much for live action. Mm-hmm. Like the whole like House of X and Fall of X and all this. I think it's way too much. Like I think,
but I mean, like even like House of M, dude. Like that was crazy. That was a story that like you want to see be made into a movie.
It would be fucking hard,
dude. Exactly.
It'd be super fucking hard. Like I would understand, dude. I would understand like what was that Westview shit that she did, and then like this time it's like a whole state, like the state of Texas. All right, good luck. Let's make it work.
Yeah.
But you're talking about the whole fucking world, dude. Actually, no. The entire fucking cosmos, multiverse.
Yeah, I don't know why I said Nathaniel. I apologize. And it's Franklin. Nathaniel's his dad.
The father,
yeah. Jesus Christ.
Like, I don't.
Thank you for the for the correction.
Like how though, dude? Like how would you do a whole world where like the X-Men, Spider-Man, the Avengers, everything has changed. Charles Xavier's fucking missing for no reason. Doctor Strange.
But that's also the problem, dude. Like you can't. Like there's too much. There's too much. And you know, like it's one of those things where it's kind of like you have to understand that, like, in comic books, it's a lot different because these big splash panels and just
Yeah.
huge 2-page panels that like happen and stuff like that, where you can tell, like a grandiose thing in a single page. It's that can't be done through that particular medium, and the way that we intake, information over a TV show or a movie is way different. Like some of those are much slower of a burn. And then on top of that, another thing is that, well, I mean, think of Secret Wars itself anyway. That was like a 3-year buildup. So by the time we got there, we kind of knew what was happening anyway.
Yeah.
And so like when we got the rest of that story, it was just one of those where it was like, fuck, dude, like, did we really just get all that? Like, I mean, it was crazy, man. I'm glad I got what I got when it came to Secret Wars. And yeah, the 2015. Yeah. But when it comes to like the whatchamacallit, when it comes to the movie, I have to manage my expectations, because if I don't, I'm gonna be let down. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, because there's so much craziness in the Secret Wars 2015. I mean, fuck, even in the old school one, there's some crazy shit that happens.
Yeah.
Like, so, but it's so interesting to see like how Marvel has come along from doing like, Captain America and Iron Man and Thor, Dark World, like where it started from there to what we have now. Comparing it to like, I'll go back several years to what we got in Infinity War and Endgame. Yeah. Like cinematically, they were able to pull off such an astonishing fucking series of films. And the last two was like 64 actors coming together to do like this just huge fight scene. And then the way they broke it into like 3 different teams, and then all of them having their own independent story against the same villain. Like, it was pretty good and it was well handled. Like them doing something like Secret Wars in 2015, I don't think it's very far-fetched. If they I'll tell you what, if they can pull it off in Deadpool 3, if they can pull off the Void in Deadpool 3 with all the multiversal characters and all the random like cameos that we're supposed to practically be getting throughout the Deadpool series, if they can get it to work there, they get a format for Secret Wars like bifold. Like they get it. I think it works out really, really easy. Like, what do you think? Because I mean, dude, we've heard the rumors about Deadpool 3, and it sounds wild, bro. Like wild with what they're gonna be pulling off. So like, if you were to like, let's say, and I'm just gonna shoot this in the dark. The Fox universe, we had one set of team that played the Fantastic Four. We had 2 sets of teams that played the X-Men, and we had one guy play fucking Wolverine through and through, right? Like just straight up. And you even had Cable. Was like you had the Bishop, the Days of Future Past. Fuck it, but that's 3 X-Men teams. That's like X Factor, X Force, isn't it?
Yeah, or some shit like that.
Yeah, something like that's super crazy. X-Men 1, which was the first 3 movies. Then you had X-Men First Class, and then you had the fucking Days of Future Past team.
Yeah,
that's pretty fucking crazy. And most of those characters are supposed to be making a cameo in this, including the origin story of Wolverine. Again,
which, like, yeah, that's the fact that we're getting a second origin for him. Okay, like,
yeah, I mean, but you get it, right? Like, that would be technically Fox's version of Infinity War and Endgame. Yeah, of them pulling together. But I think it's gonna be less. I think it's gonna be like maybe 30 actors, which is still a lot. But most of those actors right now, what are they doing?
Not shit.
They're just like, fuck yeah, bring us back. Like, we'll work. So if you were to approach them and say, hey, you know what? We have an idea. We're going to bring you all into a world and bring in all of these things that you guys did like fucking 15, 20 years ago. We're going to put you on a planet like fucking American Gladiator or whatever, with Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, and Hugh Jackman. And you're going to play your original characters like surviving in this wilderness. And you're going to meet Reed Richards, who's making a spaceship to get off this planet. And then it's going to take you into the next version of the MCU's Infinity War movie. would you be down? And I only need like 6 of you of the 35. Dude, you can and they had the Phoenix. Like they didn't have a Thanos.
You and the fucking Phoenix, man.
Bro, but they did. That Jean Grey had the Phoenix.
Yeah, I know.
And
I know
remember
she
in
had the
Secret
Phoenix.
Wars, what happens? Jean Grey doesn't survive. Cyclops does. And he brings the Phoenix. Right? But you know what you do? You change the Black Order out for Apocalypse, dude. For the Apocalypse movie with what's his face? And then you have Apocalypse in the Secret War movie. Like the way he was in the fucking comics. As a general under Doom. I mean, it's there, dude. I mean, it sounds, dude, it's like Dollar General version of Secret Wars because you're bringing in all these old fucking weird like Fox universe actors or whatever.
Yeah, but you're also asking them to like reprise and hold those roles for another 6 years.
They're not doing shit right now, and those characters never got.
Yeah, but they may not want to though.
Man. Oh yeah, that's good. They would be up to them, right?
Yeah.
See, David gets it. He's like Dollar General version. Yeah, dude, the Fox universe was like the Dollar General version of the MCU. Like straight up, dude, straight up. People want money. That's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. Some of these people, they're just not working. And dude, not only that, like, check it. Do you remember how Sir Ian McKellen acted after he found out Patrick Stewart was going to come out in fucking Doctor Strange 2?
Yeah.
You remember he was like, bitch, where was my phone call? Like, I'll come back. I'll reprise he loves that role, dude. Like, he loves that role. And I love that, man. He's so cool, like, to play Magneto and have that much heart for it. For him to do such, like, OG fucking Lord of the Rings and all this other stuff, such beautiful masterpieces. And for him to be like, Magneto, bitches. Like, I was Magneto. Like, to be super hyped about that role. Like, I love this guy for that role.
For me, like, it's the fact that, like, you know, oh man, you know, like I get like where you're going, right? And like I know that like you want to make the story conducive and you want to do all these things, but like your biggest the biggest problem is that like I mean, even though Adrian said people want money, yeah, but they can survive off of residuals. Do they really want to go reprise those roles and then hold them again for another 5-6 years? Not everyone does. You know, and you know, on top of that, dude, fucking Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart are fucking 80. Those motherfuckers
they're pushing it real close.
Yeah, dude, these dudes are hitting big numbers.
Yeah, so like 6 years, that's a lot, dude.
Yeah, so like you're talking about big fucking commitments from people who just
okay, some people want money.
Yeah,
like okay, some people.
So, yeah, who like one may not want like that work anymore, you know, or you know, like might have a fucking I don't know Dateline like or movie like in the pipeline that's holding them over or some shit.
You know what's really
I
crazy,
don't know.
though?
My thing is that like the fact that it's all predicated upon coming back to a role.
Yeah,
that a lot of them have never said that like, okay, where's my phone call? Yeah.
But it's super crazy. Like, don't you feel like that's kind of like an interesting trend right now in Hollywood where a lot of these characters are like, yo, I would love to go, not per se just the X-Men or the Fox universe, but a lot of people are like, I would love to replace my role that I did back 20 years ago to see where that character would be right now.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I think that's cool. I like it when actors do that kind of stuff, right? But like you said, like there's no way into telling if any of these actors even want to come back to do these roles. You know, Chris Evans is practically still running it. You know what I mean? And he was just the Fantastic Fours. I think, in my opinion, and I think they've already been said they were coming back. The Cyclops guy said he would come back, but he was doing fucking Taco Bell commercials. You know, Holly Berry was coming back, but she just did like a piece of shit MMA woman thing that no one really cared to watch movie.
Yeah, that was bad, and she pissed off a lot of people with that movie.
A lot of people, man. Rebecca Romaine Stamos, well, not Stamos, Rebecca Romaine. She would like to come back. The dude McAvoy, right? James McAvoy.
Yeah, but James McAvoy, like you know, he could, yeah, like he can pick up the phone and get a fucking role.
Yeah, and then I mean, so there's like all of this opportunity for a lot of these people to come back. Like you could bring back I mean, Reed Richards, right? But you can bring back Charles Xavier and give him the what is it? House of X or whatever Maker helmet, and make him the version of the Maker of Reed Richards in the other Life Raft, and have it to be like some of the Fantastic Four, the Andrew Garfield or whatever, the Spider-Man or whatever in the one Life Raft, and then a bunch of like evil or pushed over the edge characters in the other one.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to like reach, I guess. But
I know, and that's also like a kind of like another thing, dude. Like it's cool to reach and stuff like that, but when you start grasping at straws, man, it just becomes like, I'm not gonna say not fun, but just like,
yeah, it's just out there. It's just wishful thinking, right?
yeah.
I personally really will vouch for this, but I think the guy who played Doom in the Fantastic Four movies, the original ones, I think he could still run it. And I think that version of Doom would be a fun Doom for us to get in the MCU. Like,
honestly, like, yeah, like if anyone's ever seen him in Nip Tuck,
yeah, he's
Jesus
so good.
fuck, dude, that guy is so good.
But like, he had that really silliness Doctor Doom version.
Dude, he was already kind of in Marvel.
Well, he was. What was he
in the Runaways?
Oh, he was the father, right?
Yeah, he's the alien father.
Well, no, nobody watched the Runaways. That shit ain't even on Disney, man. So maybe we're safe. Maybe it's not the Inhumans or whatever. It's not the Inhumans. But like, you know what I'm talking about? He was a good Doctor Doom back in the day. He played like that real silly, like, ha, I'll see you next time. And then he'd run out the door and trip or whatever. Like, he was that kind of Doctor Doom, but he was like, he fucking went hand to hand with the Silver Surfer really good. And man, that Silver Surfer did really good also, that guy. He was the one that played Abe Lincoln from
he played Abe Sapien in
Hellboy.
Yeah, from Hellboy.
So good, man.
Yeah, dude, that guy, he was Pan in Pan's Labyrinth.
Yep.
I mean, dude, he's been all over like the lanky, weird, like,
it'd be cool to
trends,
see him come back too.
Yeah,
I think it'd be pretty cool because, man, my God, if there was anybody back in the day that got shit on and not got a good send off, which was that Silver Surfer versus Galactus. Like, that was probably one of the most like let down moments in comic book history. Like, don't get me wrong,
dude. To me, it's not even that one. It's the Morbius versus Blade.
That was an animated series though, wasn't it?
Mm-mm.
When did we get a Morbius versus Blade? When did we get that? Is that in the live action?
Yeah, the first Blade movie. The alternate ending was him coming out of the the statue thing, or out of the building, and Morbius is on the other building watching him, and he put the sword out.
Real?
Yeah, and he put the sword out, and he was like, "Hold on, I gotta go, be right back."
Yo, Deacon Frost was a hoss though, dude.
Yeah, dude.
The first villain in the first movie, and the second villain too. That fighting dude. I forgot his fucking name. What a tease, bro.
Yeah,
fucking, that's funny. It was a tease. Yeah, straight up. But like, the cool thing about the Silver Surfer versus the Galactus series at the end of that movie is it looked like Alex Ross drew it. When he's like kind of like shallowing in and then he explodes, it looked like an Alex Ross painting, dude. It was just so good. But yeah, the current state of the MCU is very like lackluster, to say the most, and there's a lot of nervousness to it. And I think you're right. The Fantastic Four, being the first family, needs to be very respected and taken care of. So I hope that when it does come to, I hope it's cared for, because the Fantastic Four is a very, very good thing. What's up, Chrissy? Good to see you in the comment section. Just letting you know, because I know you read the book. I appreciate you so much for Dune 2. Dune 2 got its runtime. Apparently, it's going to be 2 hours and 38 minutes.
Yeah.
2 hours and 38. So it's going to be almost like a 3-hour movie. So just letting you know, March 1st. But yeah, let us know in the comment section how you guys think the Fantastic Four should be introduced into the MCU, or if you think it's too late for them to even be introduced in the story this much. And let us know what your iteration of Secret Wars should be, because I really want to hear it. Triggs, what do we got coming up this week for you, man?
This week, as a matter of fact, on Tuesday is actually going to be my 3-year anniversary of marriage with with my wife, Audrey. So her and I, we're gonna go out to eat. We're gonna, have fun that day. Kind of, that's a don't talk to me sort of day. I will be busy. Yeah. So I've still, for anyone who's out there, my wife has formally asked all of my amazing listeners to look for a particular book that she is looking for. It is by Sarah J. Maas, and it is called Of House and Flame and Shadow.
Oh, wow.
And if you happen to see it at any of the Walmarts, because they are notorious for releasing things early, please let us know, or let myself know, and I'll let her know, and she'll go over there and let me know where you find it.
So you guys are looking for it.
Yeah, no, dude, she's about it, dude.
And quick question, I don't know if you're about this, Audrey, I would assume is. How have you guys been watching Percy Jackson?
Dude, it's so good.
It's super good.
Dude, it's so good.
It's really fucking good. I haven't really fucking fuck
it's
Walmart. It's funny. But yeah, straight up, David knows. But dude, Percy Jackson, I don't want to get into it because I know we're already past time.
Yeah, man. We'll save that for next week.
Another one.
Yeah, we'll save that for next week.
Get to the end of it before we discuss it, but it is so good. It is so good. All the three kids are doing a fantastic job. And for some reason, I didn't think Edge was going to work, and he worked as Ares. The wrestler.
Not only did he work, he fucking stole the show, dude.
He fucking
stole the show, dude. Man. Dude, when I saw him, I was like, okay, dude. Okay, you got me.
It really is, guys. It really is. And that makes me super happy that you guys in the comment section know what's up. Percy Jackson fans. I think I talked to Brian about this, and Brian really was never into the books or the story. So he's kind of like about it. But Brian said this, his own words. And this is Brian. Brian's a man of his word. If we all come together and we all think it's good, he'll give it a chance. He will give it a chance if we tell him it's worth it. But yeah, I'm having a great time with Percy Jackson. The cast is great. The story's good.
Yeah. And I mean, the kid from, the Adam Project. I mean, dude, like that guy is, dude, he has a great future ahead of me.
I was going to say, he's got a bright future in the
right. Dude, he's got a great future ahead of him.
So straight up, guys, super excited for Percy Jackson. Can't wait for everything else that's coming out. Like, just so good. Even that dude from that fucking, that musical. What was that musical? He just came out as Hermes, Edmonton or something like that. What was that one show that was going on? It was like a musical a while back. He was like a musical Hispanic. There you go. I'll tell you right now. Hamilton.
Okay.
Yeah, he was from Hamilton, which is a really, really popular.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah. He's Hermes. He's Hermes.
I'm tracking. I was about to be like, dude, he made Hamilton.
The cast is pretty good. You know what I was really impressed by? The second to the last episode with the fucking the puzzle maker. The one that makes Hephaestus, yeah, dude. Yeah. That was so cool, that chair. And the way the kid sold that, I was like, dude, that's heartbreaking, man. That is heartbreaking when he's sitting in the chair and he's giving like his speech, and the girl's like, she doesn't really know if she wants to go through with it or whatever. And he's kind of like, I don't know, man. That was deep.
Dude, I love how he's like, after you're done though, you come back and you get me out of this. Fuck that.
It's such a good show. Yeah. We're practically doing a review right now.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, guys, next week we're going to talk about Percy Jackson. We're going to tell you this right now. You're going to hear it first here on Average Boys Podcast. We're definitely going to talk about Percy Jackson and how much of a sleeper hit it has been.
Yeah, and it's been real, like, not a lot of people are talking about it. So if you do get a chance, check it out, guys. Super, super awesome. Also, right now on Netflix, Daredevil series is back up on the top of the charts, and I wonder fucking why.
Yeah,
I wonder why, because people want to see good shit.
Yeah.
The Kingdom came out, which is this really cool.
Is that the one with Orlando Bloom?
No. This isn't. It's a Japanese.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, because everything is the Kingdom nowadays. Yeah, but yeah, you're talking about dude. There's like 4 Kingdom. Like.
There is a series called Kingdom, and the third one just came out. Go back and watch 1, 2, and 3. They're really good. If you're into period pieces or Dynasty Warriors, the video game, this is going to be the one that you're going to be like, dude, I love this show. Go check it out. Highly recommended. Go check it out. Bloodhounds. Also, if you haven't seen it, super worth it. And
oh, dude, Bloodhounds are so good, dude.
Yeah.
So good.
And also the series for High and Low. If you get a chance, go check it out. You guys won't be disappointed. It's really, really good. I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in with us. I know Sundays can get a little bit weird, but I love Sundays with you guys. I appreciate every one of you guys for coming in, tuning in with us and hanging out and dropping comments and being with us on Sunday. We appreciate every one of you. To all our extraordinary listeners, we appreciate every one of you. Triggs, I hope you have a badass week with work and all that good stuff, man. And good
for sure, my guy.
Guys, have a good time at your guys' wedding anniversary Tuesday. Tell Audrey I say happy anniversary early, and I hope you guys have a great fucking day. You guys be safe, stay warm, don't get any sicknesses, and be good. Get out there, drink some water, and do it, boys and girls. We love you. And we'll see you guys again here next Sunday on the Average Boys Podcast. Don't forget to follow us, like, share, subscribe, do all that cool stuff across the board. YouTube, Facebook, fucking Nintendo Switch, wherever you find us, we'll be there. We appreciate every one of you, and we'll see you guys again here next Sunday. Laters.